Yo, what it do? It's your boy New back with another video. And today it's gonna be something different, man. Today, December 18th. Let me get that right. Yes, 18, 2019, man. 6IX9's sentencing has started, right? So I went on Twitter. There was this guy who was tweeting, I'm gonna assume not everything, but mostly everything of what was being said today for 6IX9 sentencing. The judge and the people involved, and of course 6IX9, right? I don't know how accurate this is, and it's crazy that, you know, someone can just be on social media and posting shit like this, you know what I mean? But this man got conversations, screenshots, and yeah, man, it's just an entire thread. It's pretty lengthy. I skimmed through it and I liked every single one just to get back to it and react to it. And I'm gonna be giving my thoughts, you know what I'm saying, my opinions and all of that. So yeah, man, this is something different once again, but we about to get into it. All right, so here's the beginning, man. It says, okay, 6IX9 sentencing about to begin in Sydney Live courtroom, however you say that, 3:18 before Judge Ingo Mayer. As Inner City Press reported last night, there are victim impact letters and one speaker today. It's crazy to think that this man was out last year, and then towards the end of it, I think in October, November, he got arrested. So it's been a whole last year since this man's been locked up, going through bullshit, right? And again, a year later, we finally have, you know, the sentencing for him and the bullshit he's been through and involved in. About to get into it right now, bro. So this man tweets that the judge comes out, the prosecutors at the government table for 6IX9, Don Floria and Lance Lazaro, whatever. Daniel Hernandez, good morning, Your Honor. It's on. Let's get it. So the judge says, we're here for sentencing on charges including conspiracy, attempted murder, conspiracy to distribute heroin, and 4 firearm charges, bro. That's fucking ridiculous. I understand government is dropping count 2 firearms as no longer viable under U.S. v. Davis. I don't know these court terms, but don't judge me, you know what I'm saying? Never heard of this shit before. But yeah, and here's the judge saying that he's reviewed a letter from the government that he'd asked for about how the guidelines apply. I've also received 2 victim impact letters, redactions, I think that's how you say it, which I found warranted. Also the government's cover letter about trying to notify victims. So we're gonna read this shit right here right quick. Dear Judge, the government writes to update the court regarding the government's efforts to notify victims consistent with the Crime Victims' Rights Act, blah, blah, blah. The government, through our Victim Witness Office, has attempted to reach out to the victims of the defendant's crimes with the help of the New York City Police Department, yada, 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 whatever. And then it's highlighted, victim who was struck in the foot during July 16, 2018 shooting in Brooklyn attempts to speak at the sentencing hearing. So, on that day, on July 16, there was a shooting in Brooklyn. I believe is the one in broad daylight that happened, where a member of Treyway stepped out the vehicle, ran up on somebody, whatever, and then right after, there's a video, and right after that, 6IX9 steps out of the vehicle and is watching from afar. So clearly he's involved in it, you know what I mean? You can't miss a nigga with fucking rainbow hair, you know what I mean? Here's the judge. He says, I received a letter from a woman named Marlena who says she and Mr. Hernandez had a child in 2015. I will put it on the docket with redactions. We received an anonymous letter that I will not put on the docket. Why not? I don't know, but it could have been some you know, something for the people, the public to know about. So yeah, here's a judge. Received a letter from LA security company saying its invoice has not been paid. Counsel agreed this is not relevant. It will not go into the docket. Okay. There's also an issue about the tap on Jamal Jones' phone. Anything more? Ooh, okay. Turning on to the pre-sentence report, Mr. Hernandez, have you reviewed it? Here's 6IX9. Yes, Your Honor. Here's Judge. Are there any objections? Ausa Longyear. I don't know what that is, honestly. They said not from the government, not from the defense. The PRS is accepted, will be placed under seal. The judge. Now we turn to the sentence guidelines. Although no longer binding, I must accurately calculate them. It seems the parties agree that the defendant's criminal history category is 2. I agree that it is 2. Mr. Hernandez was on probation for use of a child in a performance when he was part of a racketeer conspiracy. So it's 2. As to the firearm charges, mandatory 10-year sentence consecutive. So as a matter of formality, it's 459 to 492 months. Bro, here's the thing. That whole use of a child, I don't know if this was the first case that he caught, but he came out and said that the girl lied about her age. Let me say something, bro. You females out there, and even dudes, bro, y'all need to chill with the line about your fucking age, dog. Cause shit like this happens. It's a serious matter, you know what I mean? So for you to be lying about your age just to, you know, be part of something or go somewhere or just to fit in, you're a clown. It was 4 firearm charges. I don't know if it was all just 6ix9ine, but then he says mandatory 10-year sentences. Bro, that alone would have been 40 years for him. But so in total with everything right there, 459 to 492 months, bro. If you go to Google and look this shit up, it's 40 plus years, dog. That's fucking wild. He was supposed to be sentenced 47 years and they cut it short. Here's the judge. Do the parties agree subject to the government's motion? Yes, judge. We turn now to the parties. Mr. Longyear, is the government moving for a reduced sentence under 5K1 for the defendant's cooperation? Yes. So since he cooperated, of course, they're gonna bring his sentencing down. So here's the judge. We turn to the views of the party. Longyear, I'd like to set the table. The shooting by Aaron Young, a shooting in Brooklyn in the street in broad daylight, the hotel shooting. We have surveillance video of cell site information. He continues, obviously the robbery of Mr. Hernandez himself. The court heard this at the trial. 6ix9ine was robbed by his own people, dog. That alone just shows you can't fucking trust anybody. You feel me? Based on the title 3 wiretapes, 6ix9ine had publicly distanced himself from the gang. He went on the Breakfast Club. That afternoon, we started intercepting calls. Judge, you had the wiretap up before, but then you started to hear what you've been stirred up. And then Longyears is like, yes. What do you think led to 6ix9ine's distancing himself from the gang? There was, among other things, Mr. Hernandez's relationship with his girlfriend. There was Jim Jones talking about violating 6ix9ine. Bruh. So many people involved in this shit, dog. Like, you don't even understand. You know what I mean? Like, you see the memes, you've seen everything probably. Like, a lot of people were involved in this bullshit, you know. So here's also, so we met with 6ix9ine and his counsel. During the meeting, 6ix9ine started to give us information about the gang, about the structure, who the key members were, and so it was more than his listening. He knew the writing was on the wall. So right there, bro, let me talk about this, though. I don't know about y'all, right? But if I was in this nigga's shoes, I would have done the same fucking shit, bro. You gonna sit here and tell me that if you were in his shoes, and I know a lot of people are like strictly on snitching and all that bullshit, right? Snitches get stitches, all that shit, bro. I get that. I understand why people are strong about that, especially with him, since he was living this lifestyle that it wasn't him. He was like faking it, you know. He only did it just to get money, just to get fame. He fucked up. But you gonna tell me you gonna do 47 years for the people who robbed you, dog, who did you dirty, who stole money from you? You're really gonna sit there and do time for them? Answer that down below. If it was me, fuck no. So yeah, here's the judge. Was that known to other members of the gang? Longyear, yes. To Cafano, which is Shoddy, that's his name. To Shoddy and others. So we took the gang down Sunday evening and Monday morning. 6ix9ine was presented on Monday evening. We had a proffer meeting. Damn, I don't even know these words, bro. And in the first proffer, 6ix9ine was forthcoming. He described his participation in robberies. He described the standing of the different lineups. Proffers developed. We met 2 or 3 times a week. 6ix9ine described an incident in which Shoddy shot 5 times at a car. There was no police report of that. That is fucking sus. How is there no police report on shots fired 5 times at a car, dude? You know what I mean? That's ridiculous right there. That shit does not make sense to me. Here's the judge. But the video was on Mr. Mac's social media account, and then Longyear was like, yes. All right, this shit is long, bro. I want to turn now to the significance of usefulness of his testimony. 6ix9ine walked up through several acts of violence. He identified pertinent videos. So he continues. He walked us through text messages and told us what the words meant. Of course, his information allowed the government to charge Mr. Mac with conspiracy. With respect to Mr. Ellison, all we had was the video and cell site info. With 6ix9ine, we charged kidnapping. Judge was like, were you aware of the October slashing before Mr. 6ix9ine told you? And NYPD was aware. Denard Butler, 6ix9ine provided us information. So Denard Butler, I'm gonna assume that's one of the Treyway members, and he's getting his sentencing is January 30. All right, so Longyear continues. I want to turn now to risk to 6ix9ine's safety. The people against whom 6ix9ine testified, the godfather of the street lineup, these are the leaders. As soon as 6ix9ine started cooperating, he had to leave his family. Of course, bro. Like, it's a dangerous position 6 9 was in since he snitched. Once he gets out, God bless dude, you know what I mean? I don't know, bro. I have hope in him, you know what I'm saying? I have faith in dude. He's gonna come back stronger than ever, of course, being himself and, you know, doing what he does and all that shit, you know. But a lot of people are gonna hate that nigga. That's just 100% fact, bro. But yeah, continue. 6 9 was moved to the special facility. Even there, he was put in a separate pod, of course. He was put with other people, dude, it would have been raps. It will follow him forever. Certain things that people take for granted, like going to the movies. Yep. Here's a judge. He faced some risk just for repudiating the gang. I don't even know how to say it, bro. But yeah, then he goes, it's changed by an order of magnitude. He testified for 3 days. He is a high-profile government cooperator, bro. High-profile government cooperator. That shit sounds fucking wild to say. That just having that title, bro, literally, like, it sounds like he's above the president, you know what I mean? Like, geez. For those reasons, your honor, given the timeliness of his cooperation that he made, the other defendants plead guilty. The judge, I have a few questions. One involves restitution. God damn, I don't know how to fucking talk, bro. Is there any victim here to be compensated? Long year, we have not heard of one. The judge, usually in gang cases, usually the defendant does not have the money, but that's not the case here. My man got the money, you know what I mean? He probably has some stash. He got finessed, like the feds took, I think it was like 1.4 or 4 million out of his accounts. He probably has money stashed in somewhere, bro. Deadass, if he was smart. The judge, and notice to the victim, I appreciate the letters, but why only with respect to this one high-profile defendant? The victims knew of the other sentences, didn't they? A long year we've been in contact. Judge, very good. Now one victim, LL. So this is the victim that I guess got his foot ran over, or shot in the, I just read it, shot in the foot on July 16. So yeah, here she goes. I'm hurt, I'm upset. July 16, I was just an innocent bystander shot in the foot. The bullet could have hit me in the head. That's facts, bro. You know, good thing she's still alive, you know what I mean? Because it would have been just tragic and worse for 6 9 and everybody else involved in this if she was shot and killed. And then she continues, every day I wake up, I have scars on my back. I was out of work. The actions took a lot of me. I still have to go to the doctors and ask. And for him to sit up here, I want to see him apologize. My mother could have lost her daughter. At the end of the day, he was the mastermind. I have bruises on me. I have to look at myself. I just want an apology. It took a lot of me to come here. I want to face him. I want him to know he hurt me. He hurt. That's tough, bro. It's crazy how like a bullet can hit anybody. You know what I mean? It's like a feather in the wind. It can go anywhere it wants. Whether you're aiming at someone or not, the possibility of it going anywhere is really high. So here's the judge. I can see how hard this was on you. I am sorry that happened to you. I appreciate the courage, and I mean that word deliberately, that it took to come here. So long as you are unaware of any other victims. Anyone elsewhere? No other hand up. Lance Lazaro. 6 9 sits before you today, given a second chance. The only that comes from being a gang member is life in jail. Facts. Life or death. I mean, life in jail or death. Basically, you know what I mean? That will be his message. If given a second chance, he has tried to do the right thing, and I know he will when he comes out, bro. Because this, if I was in his shoes, I'd be shitting myself, bro. I wouldn't talk about nothing bad when I come out, you know what I mean? Lazaro. So we go to the proffer meeting, and we're basically told that certain members of the gang are trying to super violate him. Of course, he snitched. I get it. He continues. Daniel's mother was living day to day. There were many nights Daniel and his brother went to bed hungry. Then Daniel's mother meets a man he considers his stepfather. He becomes a father figure. Then he was murdered on the street. So his upbringing was rough, along with millions and millions of other people, you know what I mean? Not everybody lives a happy and easy life, you know. Continues the impact of that, his stepfather being killed and Daniel feeling guilty that he didn't go to the store with him. He is diagnosed with depression. He's given medication. Every dime he gives to his mother when he's working at a deli, his mother's waking up early to go clean the houses. He's picked up cans to sell them. They went to church every Sunday. He sings in the choir. He decides to make music videos in the backyard. Daniel decides he's going to tour Eastern Europe, try to make a career, but he didn't make much money. In 2017, he writes the song Gummo, which was a song that basically blew his ass up. He's going to change his image, this gangster image. That's who he got involved with, 9 Trey. So this man had a rough upbringing, lost his stepfather, and you know, it was just rough for him. So of course, he's gonna do whatever he can to make a name for himself, make it out, and here he is, turns himself into this gangster image, which, you know, is not who he really is. That's when he meets Shotty, tells him to go buy some Henny, and he'll get the gang members together to shoot the video. It blows up. The second one blows up. These gangsters of 9 Trey, they see that if they can control 6 9 they're rich, which they basically did, because they were finessing mans. out of his money. I heard they got into sexual relations with his girl and they robbed him. They kidnapped him type of shit, you know? So he continues, maybe joining 9 Trey contributed to him becoming a star, but it was the worst decision he ever made. It has resulted in his imprisonment. As Michael Longyear stated earlier, my client's cooperation was complete. From the day he appeared before Magistrate Pittman, he cooperated. He took down a major gang. 4 other additional defendants were arrested and taken off the street because of 6ix9ine. Testimony was believed by the jury. With respect to Mr. Ellison, that had to do with them kidnapping and robbing 6ix9ine, he will always have to have full-time security. This is different than a normal cooperator. He's a target for any gang member. He's got a lifelong sentence. So basically, it's like, I don't know the word exactly, but it's like when he says he's got a lifelong sentence, he's not locked up, but for what he did and said, and you know, the hits that he sent for 9 Trey to do for him, is gonna bite him in the ass for the rest of his fucking life, bro. Like he said, like, he's a target for any gang member. Everybody and anybody is gonna try to get at this nigga, you know what I mean? So it's just tough, bro. I hope that when he comes out, his security is, you know, just on point, because if not, he is screwed big time, bro. Big time. He needs like 30 eyes around him, bro. That man fucked up. He continues, he helped take down a major gang. We all know his testimony was leaked on the internet. Those pictures will forever be used against him. When you get to know him, he's not a bad kid. If given a second chance by your honor, I believe you will never see him again. I'm asking for time served and 3 years of supervised release. Here's the judge. Thank you, Mr. Lazaro. 6ix9ine, this is your time. Now the man himself, 6ix9ine, speaks. Your honor, I really don't know where to start. This past year, I can't describe it. I wrote something down. I know we haven't had the chance to speak. I denounced being 9 Trey before the arrest. I was aware that the mother of my child was having sexual relations with Shawty via text messages. I was already kidnapped by Anthony Ellison. The booking agents were stealing hundreds and of thousands. So they were finessing dudes from the jump, bro. I am not a victim. I put myself in this position from day one. I allowed them in. This was my decision. To the lady who came forward, Miss LL, I don't know you. I'm sorry for what had happened. I know that throwing my money on a situation is not the best result, but whatever medical bills you want me to pay, I will. I'm sorry that happened to you. Bro, this man sounds smart as fuck, bro. When he was out doing his thing with the music, this man didn't sound like this. He smartened the fuck up, you know what I mean? And for him to come out and apologize and even offer to pay her medical bills, knowing damn well that he probably has little to no money, says a lot about his character, how he really is, you know what I mean? He continues, I was in 3rd grade the last time I saw my biological father. Fucking glance I took, sorry. I wrote a letter, I'll read it. I know there is no apology that can kill off the pain we have all been affected by. I'm not perfect. I made a lot of bad choices, but that does not make me a bad person. Everybody makes mistakes, and for every mistake, it doesn't signify if you are a bad person or not. You know what I mean? This, people look at him as like a bad person, of course, especially the victims involved. But, you know, he's smartened up, he's ready to change, and he's gonna get that second chance, basically. He says, I'm not perfect. I made a lot of bad choices, blah, blah, blah. If you told me in January 2017 I'd be a global star, I'd call you crazy. January 18, you told me I'd be part of a federal indictment, I'd call you crazy. Since the age of 14 when I lost my father, 15, 16, 17, I see my mom wake up early. I wanted the world to see me as an example that you are in control of where you go. That's 100%. I used my platform to push the message. If I did it, why can't you? I gave people hope. And that's just facts, bro. Don't let people control what you want to do in life. You know what I mean? Don't let people tell you you can't do nothing. I have people every other day telling me your YouTube is trash. Your videos are trash. You're not going to go farther with it. That shit gives me motivation to keep going. You know what I mean? I don't let shit like that faze me or stop me from what I really want to do in life. And you guys shouldn't either. 6ix9ine continues, Your Honor, a 5-year-old boy named Franklin was dying of cancer. He wanted to meet me. I asked myself why, but I went. Cancer had disabled the right side of his body. I told him how strong he was. Bro, a 5-year-old, dog, basically dying slowly from cancer. That's tough. I realized I was not just a kid with rainbow hair and 6ix9ine tats. Franklin told me I was hope. Then I met another girl named Tati. She broke Tati. Isn't that a name of one of his songs? I don't know. She broke out of her shell. It was September. The family was struggling. I took them school shopping for the year. Tati told me if I can be strong, they can be strong. When people see me, they don't only see Tekashi 6ix9ine, the arrogant. I'm a human. I got organs just like everyone in this room. They see Daniel Hernandez, not Tekashi 6ix9ine. And that alone right there, bro. Daniel and Tekashi is two separate people, two different lives that he lived. Daniel is who he truly is. Tekashi is the gangster image he portrayed. You know what I mean? Hernandez, I failed these kids, the millions of kids, my own kids I haven't spoke to the whole time incarcerated. So my man hasn't spoke to his kids not once after being locked up, which is ridiculous. It will be a priority of mine to visit low-income families. Again, he's doing everything, saying anything. He's gonna change, bro. I have hope in this nigga. I really do, bro. It's this man is dumb, but I have hope for him when he comes out. I failed these people. They believed in Daniel. I was too busy making the negative image in my 6ix9ine persona. I know God has a bigger plan for me. I want to inspire the youth that it's never too late to change. If I can change for the better, so can they. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I lost my father to violence. I grew up with no guidance. It was me. I live it, so I know. Your Honor, allow me to inspire people. Not only the young people here, but the millions around the world listening and watching. Now, Mr. Hernandez's biological father raises his hand to speak. Judge Ingo Mayer says, I'm sorry, it's too late. That is wild, bro. That right there, we could have heard, because like he said, I guess his biological father left. His mom found someone new, became a stepdad, obviously, and lost him to violence. So they have his real father, bro, trying to say something if given the chance, and the judge denies him, bro. He says, I'm sorry, it's too late. That's tough, bro. So yeah, judge shoots down the father as being too late, then announced the 10-minute break. So they come back to it, and here's the judge coming back. Is there any reason sentence should not now be imposed? Long year, no, Your Honor. 6ix9ine, your sentencing has attracted a lot of attention. That's a fact, bro. But the factors are the same as on anyone's. 6ix9ine, I've given it a lot of close thought, including your cooperation. The following are my thoughts, and this is going to take a little while. You are in custody for 13 months. I agree you deserve a great deal of credit for cooperation. However, I cannot agree with your counsel that time served is appropriate. In my judgment, your conduct is too violent and selfish to make 13 months reasonable. You will not be going free today. There was a lot of posts before this happened, today, stating that there was rumors just saying, oh, 6ix9ine was going to be free today, whatever. He made it loud and clear. You're not going free, bro. So he says, for the better part of the year, you were part of a violent gang, so that there is no misunderstanding. Here's a specific account of those acts. First came Trippie Redd. You decided to shoot at a member of Trippie Redd's entourage. Shotty fired into the Sprinter van in the Times Square area. It is a matter of sheer luck that an innocent person or people was not wounded or killed. And that's a fact. Because, like, unfortunate for Miss LL, of course, getting shot in the foot and being a victim, it could have been 10 times worse, you know? He continues, when you pled guilty, you admitted to attempting to commit murder. You're stupid, bro. On April 3rd, with a record label in Texas, you drove to 40th Street and 8th Ave. Shotty robbed the musician at gunpoint. You took the backpack and it was found in your home. As it happened, the musician surrendered easily, but they might not have. Later, outside a restaurant, when people yelled, fuck 6ix9ine, Shotty struck them with a firearm. Then at the Barclays Center, you and Casanova were beefing. Your song Billy was a response. They played the song. You inflamed matters by posting a video mocking Casanova. So with this video, if you look up 6ix9ine Casanova beef, 6ix9ine was performing Gummo, and he says, so in the song Gummo it says, I think it goes, shut up, but I fuck that nigga, bitch. He says, fuck you Casanova, we don't fuck that nigga's bitch, something like that. But you guys can look it up and find it. But yeah, they had a beef, but then later they squashed it. Then he continues, next was Chief Keef. He was in New York, you were in LA. You offered 20 to shoot at Chief Keef outside W Hotel, and you gave someone 10,000. This man is stupid, bro. He could have avoided all of it. He probably would have been out today, you know what I mean, if he didn't do stupid shit. Then you were in LA, a rival was live streaming in Smurf Village. Shotty offered to shoot, you said okay. Dummy, bro. In that incident in Smurf Village, a woman was shot in the foot, LL, who we heard from today. Next was Snow Billy. Aaron Young shot him, and I sentenced Aaron Young to 20 years. And that's less than what he was gonna get, what 6ix9ine was gonna get. He was gonna get 40 plus. And then he continues, the woman's guy whose backpack was stolen in video of whom you put online said this. And it's a letter. I don't want to click on it because it's gonna probably ask me to sign up for something. So he continues, apart from the number of vengefulness of these attacks, there's also that they were to benefit you. Before you, the gang didn't fight with rap entourages. They had no independent interest in going after musicians in their management group. You used 9 Trey as a potent means of getting even with your rivals. You claim you foolishly commingled with members of the gang, but it's more than that. The attack would not have happened without you. And of course, that's a fact. So yeah, Shotty said he carried an assault rifle to protect you from the beefs you started. He was recorded by George Rivera saying this: "You didn't shoot, but you are responsible, and so I reject the portrait of you as a passive participant." You told the U.S. Probation Department you were brainwashed by the gang. That might be partially true, but the relationship was symbiotic. They got something out of it, but so did you. Continues, your first crime, use of a child in a sexual performance, you said the same thing. That excuse may have worked once, but it doesn't work twice. You have not been charged with using the members of the gangs as extras. You used them to much effect in Gummo. Your choice to join 9 Trey was unnecessary. I see a lot of gangs, like a 76 defendant Bronx case, they fell in at a young age. That excuse is not available to you. By the time you began with 9 Trey, you were a nationally famous rapper. You have prosperous future. Your counsel says he joined the breakout of poverty. I am not buying that. You were set, and he was set, man, because he popped off. He was getting money, bro. He was getting money way before this. He basically made it out of poverty, you know what I mean? Continues, as a result of your musical career, you could have gotten the advice of security people and presumably lawyers and accountants. I sentenced hundreds of defendants for gang activity. Your daughter had nothing to do with your decision, fact, but for your cooperation you would get a very long sentence. When you began to cooperate in November 2018, some incidents the government didn't know about, but it knew about a lot. The April 3rd robbery, the 2 April 18 shootings. 2, bro? These mans went crazy April 18, bro. Your driver had been cooperating for many months against you. The attack on Frenchie's van was captured on security video. I therefore conclude that one way or another, the full range of your conduct will have come to light. Your cooperation was courageous. The danger to you is multiplied by your music career, which I understand you intend to continue. The fact that you're unusually recognizable does not help you. Bro, this man got balls. He avoided witness protection to live the life normal, at least normal, you know what I mean? Not to be hidden and put somewhere else in the world and, you know, live like that. But like he said, you're easily recognizable, bro. The tats, even if they took it off, we know how he looks like without the tats and without the colorful hair. It would not be hard to look at this man and be like, oh, that's 6ix9ine, or that was 6ix9ine, you know what I mean? He says you met with the government 26 times, reviewing social media messages and decoding them. Your cooperation enabled the government to take down a violent gang beyond the 6, including you named in the initial indictment. You testified at the trial this fall. I saw you staining to make sure you were measuring your words right. You testified in harsh glare of nationwide publicity. There were 2 other cooperators, but you squarely implicated the 2 defendants. The jury's 2 not guilty verdicts on firearms charge did not implicate your testimony. Have little doubt, if the jury were asked if a firearm had been brandished during your kidnapping, they would have said yes, and today you apologize. I have no doubt that the process of cooperation was for you been cathartic. For all these reasons, you deserve a very substantial reduction, and you will receive you. I followed some of the commentary during the trial. I took much of it in good fun. This man really said, I appreciated the memes, whether at your expense or mine. But I need to say 9 Trey was violent, not to be glorified. Cooperation of criminal insiders is a necessary tool. Imagine the members of 9 Trey free today, bro. It would have been probably 10 times worse, dog. Probably 10 times worse. You are world famous for cooperating. Yup. Everybody looks at him as a snitch, bro. No gang will want to work with you. Of course not. Well, everything I've seen suggests to me this has been a searing experience for you. You have squandered 13 months so far. I do not expect you to be tempted to commit violence again, as he shouldn't. If he does anything wrong, bro, he's stupid as fuck, bro. If you do, I am the judge in your case. Do anything wrong, you won't see my face again, is what he's saying. You have struck a lucrative deal. The situation is unusual. You are very fortunate you will land on your feet. So far, your story appears to prove that as a bad publicity. In the end, my judgment is that 13 months is not enough. 13 months is outside the mainstream. 6ix9ine, if you expect it to be released today, you will be disappointed. Bro, if I was in his shoes and I heard that, my heart would have dropped to my fucking ass, bro. because he still doesn't know how much time he's getting. He only knows that he's done 13 months, and from what he heard last, he's gonna do 40 plus, but they were gonna bring it down obviously for him cooperating, but he didn't know exactly how much time. Your cooperation will result in years more liberty. 6ix9ine, please rise. Here it comes, bro. It is the judgment of the court. You are served a term of 24 months in prison with 5 years of supervised release. I impose 300 hours of community service when you get out and a fine of 35,000. The worst part is over. There is a great deal to be admired about you. You've learned a hard lesson here. I wish you very, very well. We are adjourned. Bro, this man went from 40 plus years, dog, to 24 months, and of course the 5 years of probation. I believe that's what it is. 300 hours of community service, and then the fine. The fine, that's probably pocket change to him if he was smart enough and has money saved up somewhere, somehow, right? 300 hours of community service. I believe he did. I believe he had to do 1,000 in 2017 or early 2018. He had to do some kind of community service or get his GED, I think it was. Listen, 47 years. Like dude said earlier, 492 months down to 24 months, bro. And he already did 13. He only has to do 11 months. He's coming out the end of 2020, dog. He avoided so much fucking time, dog. And everybody else he snitched on is doing 20 plus. You can't tell me this man didn't do the right thing for himself. It don't matter about Shawty, Aaron, everybody else involved. None of that. We're talking 6ix9ine right now, bro. He avoided years in prison for snitching. Some of y'all might be on his ass about it. Oh, he's a snitch, a rat, this and the third. And the memes are funny, don't get me wrong. I laugh at the memes, and I'm not sitting here trying to dick ride this nigga. But bro, the thing that's mind-blowing is the fact that he avoided so much time, and he's gonna be released the same fucking year as Bobby Shmurda, bro. Really think about that shit. If you guys were in this man's shoe, are you really gonna do 40 plus years for someone who used you, robbed you, kidnapped you, everything? But you're really, for the people who are on his ass about snitching, answer this. Are you gonna sit there and do time for those people? Are you gonna fucking snitch? I know limits to when to snitch and when not to snitch, but in this case right here, I'm fucking snitching on everybody, dog. Every single person I know, I'm fucking snitching if I can avoid some time off, if I can avoid years off. But yeah, man, this lengthy ass Twitter thread, shout out to this dude right here for being able to do this, bro. I find this so like weird that he can publicly just post this shit, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous, because not everybody gets this type of shit, you know what I mean? Bobby Shmurda didn't even get it. Obviously different situation, different cases, but how is 6ix9ine out of all people, man? His situation is so public, you know? Damn, man. Hey, y'all let me know what you guys think down below about this whole situation. Hashtag down below, of course, free 6ix9ine, because the man is coming out the end of next year along with Bobby Shmurda, bro. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say in this video, bro. Down below, let me know what you guys think. Hashtag free 6ix9ine, free Bobby. Yo, music industry is gonna be crazy in the end of next year and the beginning of 2021, bro. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'm out.